Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Concussion. So, a movie about the NFL that has to do with a serious issue that has an awards push with Will Smith putting in one of his best performances in years? Yeah, I'm in. And Concussion definitely lived up to expectation. I really liked this film. As I just said, Will Smith was fantastic here. I think this is the best I have seen him in years. I completely lost sight of that being Will Smith up on the screen. He completely transformed himself into the doctor he was playing. Just wonderful stuff. And Mbatha-Raw, I love her. If you haven't heard the name, it's a very unique one. Learn it now, because I think she is definitely going to be something special in Hollywood. Everything I've ever seen her play, she was just fantastic in. I don't think she's given nearly enough to do here, so I want to really see her get something worth her talents. But in the limited role she does play, she was very good. Alec Baldwin, also very strong. He's asked to carry some understated emotional heft in this film, and he does it well. Luke Wilson is also in this film, but he's literally given nothing to do. So I'm not actually even sure why they cast him as Roger Goodell, because that could have been anyone. So he was there, but yeah, not really there. Paul Reiser also is in this film, but again, I mean, he was there for like 2 seconds, so I'm not even sure why they put Paul Reiser in. But he's there somewhere. See if it's like Finding Waldo. See if you can spot him when he flashes onto the screen. But overall, the acting cast was very strong, and they really did work to sell the roles they were playing. Some of the football players overacted their part. It just very much seems like a dramatic retelling on one of the true life series on television. So they could have toned it down a little bit. We still would have got the point. They were really chewing up that little bit of scenery that the football players are awarded. But overall, good acting. The script was also very strong. I think it unfolded in a way that was exciting, as if you were watching a game itself. The film knows that its big audience is actually going to be NFL fans, football fans. So it has to appeal to those kind of football fans and keep the pace of the film moving as if it were a game unfolding for you. Making sure that you stay interested in the material it's presenting, because obviously it's going after a sport that you love, so it can't have you turn on it. And obviously, I'm a pretty big football fan. I love my Denver Broncos. But I really think you'd be hard-pressed to find people that wouldn't admit the NFL is kind of a mess, and Roger Goodell is a mess. And the way he's handled the whole concussion thing, amongst everything else that he's mishandled, from, not donating money to breast cancer and to the military, to this concussion protocol, to player protocol and their conduct. It's all just a mess, the way that the NFL handles things. And this movie just really shines a bright light on a major issue that's come to front. I know that personally, if I were to ever have children, I don't think I'd let them play football, because the damage shown is enough to me that I would not want my child playing this sport. It's just too much. And unfortunately, I find myself buying into the consumerism of it all, buying the jerseys, buying the merchandise, because I do enjoy the sport. And I think the movie also does a lot to not condemn you for liking football and watching football, but it does more than enough to really condemn the NFL for pushing this under the rug and not giving it the proper financing and the proper support that it needs to find solutions for these players. And I think at this point we understand the damage that it does to NFL players, so at least they're aware of what they're getting themselves into, but it still is not working toward helping these players even more, because this is not something that you see immediately. And this movie made it very clear. CTE was the problem with these players who were dying so often and succinction throughout the 2000s. And unfortunately, this mental disease is not on a CAT scan. You can't tell until they're dead or have already gone off the deep end when they have it. So we don't know. We don't know if right now the NFL, what they're doing is enough. I suspect probably not, but we're not going to know until years down the road when players that we're watching right now and beloved players have to suffer in their retired lives. And that's a very sad prospect. But thankfully, the movie doesn't hold back punches. They come for the NFL, they come hard. They don't shy away from criticizing the NFL for not caring about their players enough and just caring about the business, as well as just the straight consumerism of it all. The power that they hold in comparison to other industries because of football and how much we all get sucked in and love football. So, I mean, it's sad. It was very sad to watch. As for negatives, I think that it could have focused a little bit more on the players. I think they do enough to make the medical explanations very accessible for us all. Like Will Smith's little dialogues with people and his visual representations are very good. And so we are really sucked into that whole part. However, as I said before, the player enactments just felt so dramatic that they didn't even feel like the same movie, to be honest, and they didn't quite have the heft that they could have had the actors really been able to sell their roles as they went mad, basically, right before our eyes, but also if they had been given more attention. We're just given little snippets of the player, and it's supposed to make some sort of hefty revelation to the audience. I think it deserved more time, and really, in theory, this movie was made with player safety in mind, so I wish they would have gotten a little bit more screen time and a little bit more development. And while I enjoyed that they reached out to the football audience by showing, that the doctor, he wasn't under the NFL's trance, but he started to understand the beauty of the game, and, some of the people that were involved with the NFL before, how conflicted they were, and it does bring you in, and if you're just such a blind, die-hard NFL fan, I guess it helps take off the blinders, and it helps you to at least give this film a shot. But I almost wish they hadn't even included that and pulled no punches. I don't know if that's the truth or what that is for the doctor himself, but I don't really think there was a need for it. I don't really think there was a need to say, oh, I understand that this sport is beautiful. I mean, I guess it makes it so that he's not just coming after some sport he doesn't care about. But I don't think it really needed it. I think just pulling no punches, coming after the NFL was enough for the film. But overall, I think this is definitely a good Christmas film. I think you won't be disappointed if you go see this with your family Christmas night after all the dinner and festivities. And it's definitely worth seeing at a full price ticket. It's exciting enough, it's glossy, beautiful theater quality enough to warrant that full price ticket. And it's an event film, something you want to experience with other football fans and with your family. So that, if you're a parent of a young child, if you're already not convinced, this will help push you to that conclusion that maybe have your kids lean toward a little bit less of a contact sport. So, that has been my review of Concussion. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited for Concussion? And what is your favorite football movie? Let me know either in the comment section down below or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!